Hi, and thanks for tuning in. Today I am going to show you a simple repair you can do yourself on a Norinco M-93 22 caliber pistol. Now I've already got the slide detached here. The biggest problem with these is the cock slide spring that can easily come out. Now if your cock slide spring comes out, I'm just going to show you. This is your slide here, and the spring gets depressed until it is about here with the follower pin. So it's got a lot of tension on it because this is the actual spring. And as you can see, the spring is quite long. So with the spring being this long, of course, it's a real pain to get back in. Here's the follower pin. And the follower pin's just long enough to assert itself into the following hole when the spring's loaded, so that the spring doesn't come disaligned when the firearm is recoiling or when you cock it for the first time before you pull the trigger. So I'm going to show you the first trick how not to fix this. A lot of people like to put this on a table, and most of the people who have talked to me about it have told me how they've tried to compress the spring all the way down until you can pinch it with 2 fingers over top of the following pin. And I don't even know if that's possible. I don't know if the spring compresses that much. I've never tried it. I'm going to show you the easy way. And the easy way is we're just going to insert the spring into its hole here. Let's see if I can get this in a way that you can see easily. Right here, just right above that flap. There, that's where it goes. Okay? And now what we're going to do is we're going to put one thumb right here. And this thumb, our thumb there, is going to prevent the spring from bouncing out. And we're going to insert the follower pin right there. Okay? And now with this thumb, we're going to slowly start to coil it down. Pull it down into its hole, and we're going to start pushing on the end of the follower as far as the follower will go. Now these springs are pretty strong, so you're not really going to wreck the constant or anything like that. Do your best to keep the spring from kinking or bending off to the side. Of course we don't want that. So we're just going, it's important to keep your thumb in there all the time. Okay, now you see here, I've got, I don't know if, I got my thumb in there, and I've got the follower spring there. Now my thumb is keeping that spring from kinking, and it's very important to apply proper pressure with your thumb at this point, or else you're going to kink your spring, and you don't want to do that. So, we're just going to keep our thumb in place here, and push down. And here's a perfect example of what not to do. My thumb wasn't in place enough, so you see I got a little bit of a kink in my spring there, and that's not going to do. So we're going to pull this spring out again. And the following pin just flew out there. It's a pretty powerful spring. Again, this really isn't that long of a fix. It's a pretty quick fix if you get it the first time. Usually takes me 1 or 2 goes, but it's not that difficult of a thing to do. So, once again, just making sure we've got our thumb in there to prevent any kinking. We're going to make sure this follower pin finds the hole, and there we go. We don't have any kink in there, you see? There's no kink in that area. Now this is the easy part. As soon as you get this into the slide, you're on easy street. We're just going to take a screwdriver. That's all you need, and you want a flat head for this. The wider the better, and what we're going to do is we're just going to push it in here on top of our spring and pull down. Now when you're looking down on top of this spring, you want to move it all the way as far over to the left as you can, and you can actually see that's where it properly aligns. See that? Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our screwdriver here. I'm going to show you with this because it's easier to see with this toothpick because of the contrasted color and because the toothpick's a little smaller. Our following pin's right up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to insert our screwdriver behind that following pin and depress our following pin all the way down here. And while we do that, at the same time, we're going to press down on this takedown button, which is going to lift up this lever flap below the spring, which will keep it in place. And as soon as you do that, it's fixed. So here we go with the screwdriver. And voila, it's fixed. You see that? You can see our lever flap now, it's up in place, and our spring is back in its position. So now we can just place our slide back onto our frame. And when you insert this, when you insert your backing piece, you just want to make sure that your hammer strut there, I don't know if you can, oh, there goes the sear spring. The hammer strut here, you just want to make sure the hammer strut is, first of all, over top of this sear spring, and then you just want to make sure that hammer strut finds its way into your main spring and the spring housing there. And that's not too hard. It usually kind of makes its way on its own with a little bit of wiggling. So, and there we go. Then we just push up with enough force to seal the deal. And we're back in place there. Now all you have to do is pull back on your slide, release that spring. There you go. Insert your magazine, because this has a particular trigger bar that's sensitive to the magazine. If your magazine's not in, you won't be able to pull the trigger. The trigger bar is actually released by a magazine roll bar here. And there we go. Firing pin's activating. We'll just make sure our safety works. So we'll pull up and our safety's working and we're set. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope this saves you a trip to a gunsmith, and I'll talk to you later.